Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am going to make a high-protein, low-carb oatmeal. I love to break my fast with this, and it is really delicious. I'm going to double my recipe, and this is one that you can make ahead of time and then put into little jars or little containers to have ready to take with you, ready to pull out of the fridge and heat up. I like it best heated up, like warm, like oatmeal would be. And you can also add so many different things to it. So make sure you give me thumbs up, hearts, share this video so that more people in the world can see that they can have things. It doesn't actually have oatmeal, like the grain of oatmeal, but it has some other things in it. And it is the consistency of oatmeal, and it's so delicious. So we'll get started. We're going to start by heating our almond milk and our other two ingredients. So let me get the stove on. And I have a cup and a half of unsweetened almond milk. I'll show you what it looks like here. I got this at Super Moxie, which is one of the bigger supermarkets here. So I have a cup and a half of almond milk. It looks like this. It's without sugar. And I did not find that in every place in here, but Super Moxie did have it. And then I have ground or like flax meal, and I'm using a 1/4 cup of flax meal. So 1/4 cup of flax meal. Flax meal is so dense in nutrients. It's so good for you. Full of omega-3s, I believe. It has protein. It's low carb. It's really good fiber, really dense in nutrients. And then I have, this isn't gonna stick, there we go. I have coconut flour, and so a 1/4 cup of coconut flour. And coconut flour also has great nutrients, healthy fat, also low carb. Okay, there's my coconut flour. And it has some fiber, not a ton, and it has some protein as well. So it has also some great nutritional content for you. And we're gonna start with this. So we need to mix this and combine it, let it start to heat, and then we're going to pull it off the heat to add an ingredient. And then once that's been back on the heat and it mixed in, we're gonna add a few more. And then, like I said, you can take it off. You can, if you're making double the batch like I am, then you can portion it out to like 3 or 4 meals and have it already ready to break your fast with, to have as a snack, to eat as a breakfast. It can be a lot of things. So it's already getting thick. I'll show you what it looks like. I don't think you can kind of see it actually, but not completely. So you can see how it's already getting thick. I tell if I go like this and it separates enough that it kind of stays apart. I don't know if you can see that that line starts to stay apart. That's a good sign that that's the consistency that you want. And it smells really good too. Okay. So from here, what I'm gonna do is turn off the heat since this is a gas stove. You can either turn it off or just take it off the heat. But I'm gonna turn off the heat so that I can add the next ingredient, which is 2 beaten eggs. Tell me where you're watching from. I would love to know. If you like oatmeal, put the word like it, or put like it in the comments. If you don't like it, put leave it. Now the heat's off, and I'm gonna pour in my egg, and I'm gonna stir it as fast as I can after I've gotten it out of this mug. There's 2 eggs beaten here. And I'm going to stir it. I thought that was almost falling. Stir it in here and get it combined before it starts to cook much more, because I want it to just incorporate and create a thicker piece, but I don't want to create pieces of egg, if that makes sense. So once you get it incorporated and connected to all these pieces, then you'll be able to, it won't have all these like stringy parts, or there won't be chunks of egg. It's just adding to the thickness and the protein within this oatmeal. All right, so it's almost connected in here, and I'll show you it reduce the thickness, but it'll increase it again once we start to heat it up again. So now it's kind of like a porridge consistency, like a cream of wheat consistency. So you can see that it doesn't separate like this or like this. It starts to, but it's not quite where it was before. So we'll turn the heat back on. And we're continuously stirring it. While you stir it though, you're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt. So I might need to, I don't know exactly where the measuring spoons are, so I'm going to use a few pinches of it that equal to a 1/4 teaspoon. But a 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt. So I think this is like a little less than 1/8. I think we're gonna do like 3 pinches to make a 1/4 of a teaspoon. So I have a 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt. I'm gonna mix that in there. It's starting to bubble, which is great. I wanna keep it mixing and get all this pink salt also well incorporated to all of it. And it's starting to thicken up again, which is awesome. So the egg is cooking in here, and the coconut flour and the flax meal. And then, okay, I'm gonna show you how the thickness is building. Here's this. Now look, if you go like this, it starts to separate and stay separated. So that's where we want it. I'm gonna let it go just a little bit more. You can see that it's just staying separated. That's great. That's exactly the consistency that I'm looking for. Because that means now that it is cooked, the pieces of it are cooked for cooking. And then we just have about 3 or 4 more ingredients to add. So at this point, well, 2 more ingredients that you will add. And then after that, you can decide what you're gonna add. So I would love to know, normally, what do you like to add to your oatmeal? Do you like to add cinnamon? Do you like to add maple syrup and brown sugar? Not sugar, but so we can have a variation of that. Do you like to add like chopped diced strawberries or berries or blueberries? What do you like to add to yours? You can do that with this, and you can change it every time you eat it, or every time that you heat up your portion, you can choose how you want to eat it that day. You could even add a little bit of vanilla extract. All right, so now it is a great consistency, and we are going to take it off the heat, or turn off the heat. And now we're going to add our last 2 ingredients. So we're adding 2 tablespoons of butter. 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to add, I'm going to mix that so that it melts well in here. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. And after we do that, then we're going to add what you want. So I'm going to be adding to mine monk fruit. I can also add to mine here. Chalk Zero at home is the type of syrup that we get that is a great option of syrup. Here it's called maple syrup without sugar, and it uses monk fruit. So I'm going to add a little bit of that to mine. You can add like you can add really what you want. You could also add like 2 tablespoons of sweetener. So allulose, monk fruit, stevia, erythritol, or any combination. I have monk fruit here, so I'll probably add that to mine. And then you can also add sliced berries, or you can add cinnamon, or you can add a little bit of vanilla extract, or you can add, what else? Tell me in the comments, what would you add? What would you add to yours? All right, butter is mixed in. I wanted to make sure that mixes before I add cold heavy cream to it. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. This is our cream. The cream comes in a bag here. And so I put the remainder from what we used last night into this mug and covered it. So 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. And that's it. now for me, I'm going to make mine with the maple syrup, but I'm going to make my own portion with that because I'm going to have the people that we're living with try this as well and have them try it a couple different ways so that they can see how they would like to do it or what they would like to replicate if they want to. So now that I've had that, you can eat it without any sweetener, or you can add your own sweetener to taste. This is gonna be my meal to, well, not all of this, but to break my fast today. I hope you have a wonderful day. From Daisy's house to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye!